Happy Pay It Forward Friday. Happy Aloha Friday. This is another episode of Ask Cindy Connector Live. Well, hello. This is Cindy, your host at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Make sure you go to Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Hit that like and follow button and go to Ask Cindy Connector Live on YouTube. As a matter of fact, if you share this broadcast, you will get a 5-night giveaway. You have a choice of Mazatlan, also Puerto Vallarta, and Cancun. If you just want a U.S. destination, simply get a 3nightgiveaway.com. So really quickly, Ask Cindy Connector Live is about connecting my sphere of influence to the rest of my sphere of influence. At Ask Cindy Connector Live, I'm here to give referrals. And actually on the show, a lot of times I give referrals right after the show. If I have a guest on and someone's popping in with comments, I'll actually connect them after the show. So about 10 years ago, one of my friends started calling me Ask Cindy Connector as I was passing on referrals to our friends. And so now we have a live broadcast as of November of last year. I don't even know how many shows, probably close to 60 shows already. Totally crazy, because I'm showing my love for podcasting and Pay It Forward. And I hope your Pay It Forward Friday is going amazing. Think of 5 people every single day to show gratitude to. So today I'm very grateful for National Day Calendar. As in mid-September, I'm one of their designated speakers. I'm going to talk about how I use National Day Calendar for my businesses and my podcast. So today is National Wear Blue Day. It is also National Go Fishing Day and Flip Flop Day. So in the studio, she's been on Bucket List Coach Web Show Live on the Wednesday Travel Podcast. Her name is Carmen. She's a business coach. She's the girl with the golden shovel, and she's a vlogger at the Ruby Road. Welcome, Carmen.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you so much. I'm wearing blue. I'm not wearing flip-flops, and I haven't gone fishing yet. So I got one out of the 3.
Well, awesome. Well, tell my audience a little backstory about you.
Awesome. So my name is Carmen Ventrucci. I am a business consultant, and I've earned the nickname the girl with the golden shovel due to the results I get my clients. So that is why I have a golden shovel there. So I'm a little bit like you, Cindy. I also have the nickname Carmen the Connector.
I
And the
love
reason
it.
behind that is because I have a passion for networking. I love meeting people. I love finding out what makes different people tick. And I'm one of those people, I can just see the synergies between people I meet. So frequently when I meet somebody, I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to meet my friend Cindy. Or, oh, Cindy, you have to meet my friend Dana over there. Just I see the connections and I see why people should get together for the beauty that they can create, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, or whether it's just to go have some fun, because we're human. We all need connection. So a little bit of a networking junkie.
So let's talk about how not to network like a jerk.
Yes. So before we talk about that, let me just remind people why we all need networking. There's a couple reasons. First of all, I don't care who you are or how good you are at what you're doing, we all need help. And so one of the reasons we network is to find help, whether we need resources, we need support, we need financial investors, we all need help in all aspects of our life. And also, everything that we want that we don't have, we get from someone else. We get support. We get money in terms of business transactions. We get babysitters for our children. So everything we don't have that we want, we get from someone else. So that's why networking is so important. Now, I've networked a lot throughout my life. So as you can imagine, I've done some things really well, and I've made a few mistakes along the way and wish I could have had some of those redos. There's some redo opportunities in there in my networking career. So there's really 3 things I wanted to highlight for people when you are networking, so you can network and not be a jerk. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So item number 1 on how to not network like a jerk. I want you to be as specific as possible when you are networking. One of my pet peeves is, hey, Carmen, I want to have coffee with you so I can pick your brain. That drives me crazy. And here's why. My brain is really expensive, right? I've invested in myself. I have an undergrad degree. I have an MBA. I've done personal and business development. I'm, several decades old now, so I have a lot of life experience. My brain is expensive, and it is like a finely tuned machine that I invest in and protect. So when you come to me and you say, hey, I want to pick your brain, right there, that tells me you are looking for free advice, or you're looking for me to do something for you. You're not necessarily interested in building the relationship. You're looking for a free tidbit. So instead, when you're asking somebody to meet for coffee or meet for a networking, say, hey, Carmen, I have some specific questions for you about how you help your clients build their business. Forgive me, my dog is taking a nap and apparently dreaming. If you hear a little squeaking in the background, that's him. He's
That's
chasing a
totally
squirrel
fine.
and his paws are going like that.
Oh,
Um, so be very specific. I'll only take 15 minutes. I have specific questions on X, Y, and Z that I would like to ask you. That shows me you are prepared, you know what you're looking for, and that you're interested in building the relationship. Make sense?
mm-hmm.
So be as specific as possible when you are asking for a networking meeting. Now, if you just want to learn about somebody, be very clear about that. Say, hey, can we have coffee, or can we have 15 minutes? I want to learn more about you. That's fine. Do not use the phrase, I want to pick your brain,
Oh,
because
I
that
know.
sends
That
up
drives
red
me
flags to
crazy.
people. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Now, I admit I used to do that.
Uh-oh.
I admit I used to use that phrase, I want to pick your brain. And then I actually was interviewing somebody for a podcast once, and he said, don't do that. Do it this way. I want to ask you very specific questions. And then, you know what? It's a sign of respect as well, because then the person you're meeting with knows what they need to prepare. Like, oh, I'm going to be talking about X, Y, and Z. Better get my thoughts in order. It helps both sides of the party get more value out of that conversation.
Exactly.
So that's how not to be a jerk rule number 1. All right. How not to be a jerk rule number 2 when networking. It's basically all those rules you learned in kindergarten. So I want you to say please. I want you to say thank you. Act like you're not owed anything, because they don't owe you anything. And if you promise a follow-up, you better follow up.
Exactly.
And so make sure, if you say, I'll get you that information, get them that information. If you say, I'm going to connect you with this person, make sure you connect them with that person, because it shows initiative. It shows that you value their time, and it's a good way to make that working relationship go further, or even not any relationship go further, because your actions speak louder than your words. You're doing what you said you were going to do. So in my networking career, I have noticed most of the time I followed up and I get great results. There's been a few times I haven't, and I'm just kicking myself like, oh, why didn't I just hit send on that email? Or why didn't I do that? And I'm just like, ah, man, no wonder it didn't go anywhere. So always make sure you follow up, and a please goes a long way. A thank you goes a long way. Use those manners you learned in kindergarten.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. And finally, networking tip number 3 on how not to be a jerk. When you're networking, you're basically asking somebody to be of service to you, right? Because you're asking for insights, you're asking for counsel, you're asking to be connected to other people. Always ask what you could do for that person.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably one of the most important networking tips I've ever done. I've used this in meetings with my supervisors back when I was in the corporate world. I've used this just meeting people at networking events. I've used this with, as far as the corporate ladder goes, higher ups, laterals, down belows. How can I help you? Is there anything you need from me? Or is there anyone I can connect you with? Most of the time, people be like, oh, I've never been asked that before. I actually had a coworker do this once. She was in just a regular meeting with her supervisor, and she said, I did that tip you told me about. I asked my boss, is there anything I can do for you? And she was just like, I can't believe you're asking me that. That's wonderful. I appreciate that so much. It went really far to build rapport because that's
Exactly.
what we're doing when we're
Yes.
networking. We're quickly building rapport. So always ask, is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything you need from me? Or can I introduce you to anyone? I've had one instance where a gentleman was like, who are you going to introduce me to? And I was like, well, that just says a lot for our working relationship going forward now, doesn't it? So
Oh boy.
but most of the time, that 1% of the time, I had that reaction. The rest of the time, people are always like, "Wow, I'm impressed you asked." And so go ahead, build rapport and make that impression on people. So that's a really, really quick overview on how to network without being a jerk. Let's review. Number one, be specific. Never ask to pick people's brains that says you want free stuff. Always ask specific questions. Give a time limit if you can. I just need you for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and respect that time limit. Number two, be a good kindergartner. Be polite, say please and thank you, and always follow up. And number three, ask if they need your assistance or your help to build that rapport. So if you learn nothing else about networking, remember those three tips. It gets you a long way to bringing those people into your orbit that you need to accomplish your goals, have fun, and just make connections with.
That's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to share something with you that's really super important for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to a belly-to-belly networking,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it be about me. Even if I don't know anybody in the room, I actually will connect to people. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, hey, nice to meet you. My name is Cindy, but today is not about me. It's about you. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
find one or two people to connect you to. What is the best referral? Tell me in about 1 minute about your business and what you're looking for. So then I work the room, come back.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a person's business card. Oh, but I want to get to know you. And I go, why don't we meet for one-on-one for coffee or
Mm-hmm.
for lunch and just get to know each other that way. But today it's all about you. So if you're the connector in your networking, it's really important. And when you give a referral, make sure that you follow up with both parties. And if you're the party that is the referral, make sure that you contact. Because it's like if I give you a referral and you're not talking to that person,
Mm-hmm.
it at least like literally 72 hours should be the rule of thumb. Because I've
Yes.
given recently, a few months ago, I gave a referral and the person never got back.
Oh, I
And
know. And
so
that's just
I'll never do business with that person. I'll never refer
mm-hmm.
them to anybody because it's like, if they're not getting back to me, how are they going to get back to the person I connected them to? So that's really, really crucial.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that
Yeah.
goes back to the actions speak louder than words. So your actions just
Mhm.
said you're not a willing partner. You're not willing to build rapport. You're not in it for everybody.
And Zoom etiquette is really important too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat. If you're going to eat, turn off your camera.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come in with a robe. I've been in Zooms where people, they look like they just came out of the coffin. It's just like, yeah, because you want to be presentable. So if you're in
Mm-hmm.
Zoom and, like sometimes I'm on my phone because someone says, Cindy, you got to go into Zoom. I'm like, oh, I'm setting up a show. And so I'll be setting up a show, but they really wanted me to Zoom. But yeah, so it's just really important. The eating part is like my biggest pet peeve in Zoom. How about you?
Yeah, no, that is a pet peeve. I will do a lot of tea or coffee. Like I actually have people set up virtual coffee with me. And so
Oh,
it's
nice.
like we
Okay.
establish the precedence. It's okay to bring your favorite hot beverage with you to this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the and lighting. Lighting goes a long way. So just
Oh,
turn on
God,
your
yes.
lights, open
Ring
your
light.
windows, your curtains on your windows, and have the best lighting you can. Get a ring light if you need to, because I mean, communication is more than just the words we choose. It's the
Mm-hmm.
tone of your voice and your physiology, so your facial expressions. So to me, it's really important that I can see you and I can see what your eyes are doing. I can see your facial expressions while we're talking, because that conveys a lot of information and can help build rapport quickly.
Exactly. And for me, I wrote a
Mm-hmm.
book on referrals and gratitude. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the biggest thing for me is learning the referral process because someone will say, hey, I need a referral for a plumber. Matter of fact, this
Mhm.
happened a couple weeks ago up in a couple of my friends in Sacramento. They needed one of the guys needed a referral for a plumber. So what I did is I tagged my friend, and then I told my friend Tony, I'm going to connect you to my friend. So I did a Facebook chat, and I gave both of their phone numbers. I did an introduction of each one. So that's super important. But I didn't have the emails of one of them. So what I did, I just, since they're big on Facebook, I did it that way. But find from the person you're giving the referral, what's the best point of contact.
Yes.
I like to do email because I could go, I could say, Carmen, meet Mary West, the 18th of June, email sent at 1:22 p.m. And then like here next week, I'll go back and look, or I'll go back in the month and I'll see like when I made the connection, and then I'll follow up back. Yeah, because it's really important to have a good follow-up system that way.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
you always want to ask if someone is looking for the referral, like, what are you looking for? Well, I'm looking for a carpet care for real estate prop cleaning. Or you need the exact, because when you're going to give that referral, you need to know exactly what that person wanted, and then you do the connection. Because a lot of people say, yeah, contact Cindy. It's like, but
but why?
Yeah. I've gotten referrals for travel, for my travel business, but what is the person looking for? Oh, the person is looking for a travel agent, but what are they looking for? What are the details of, that way I can help them a little quicker and get them the accurate quote. So it's really important that we pay attention to that.
And that goes back to that specificity. So I just made an introduction yesterday with one of my clients with another person I do business with. And I messaged them in Facebook Messenger and I said, Michelle, meet Emily. Emily, meet Michelle. Michelle, this is why I want you to meet Emily. And I was very specific why you two need to meet and have a conversation, because I see a lot of synergies. I don't just throw people into a chat or into an email and be like, hey, you. It's not speed dating, right?
Yeah.
It's building connections. And so if you're introducing people together, to your point, Cindy, be specific why, so that these people have some clue as to what they're supposed to discuss.
Yeah, especially for travel industry, there's so many different avenues. So at least if I know exactly what they're looking for, like sometimes someone will say, hey, I want a cruise on this date, but I need more details. Do you want, because like
Alaska,
all the different
Caribbean,
cabins,
very different.
Oh, they'll say, well, can you look up Bahamas and blah, 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 blah. I said, well, I need the date and I need exactly where you're going, because all that takes time for me to look each individual. And then especially the cabins. I mean, there's the balcony, but then there's different categories within the type of balcony. You know, do you want midship? Do you want front of ship, back of the ship? So there's so many factors involved. So doing a travel referral is actually one of the hardest referrals to give out, because you need to get specifics. You know, like with the flight, like if someone wants flight in the hotel, I need to know what kind of seat, what airline do they prefer, you know? So a lot of it is really detailed. So, but sometimes it's just easier. Hey, my friend wants to go to Florida. Maybe you should connect with her. I know she's leaving. She wants to go on these dates. Yeah, because all the other particulars, the person is given the referral, they can't give all those particulars, but at least give somewhat, some kind of information of what they want.
Give some context.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the icebreaker. It's really the icebreaker. So these two people can start a conversation.
Exactly. And then I like to follow up within a week after I give that referral. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I'm a little impatient. I might follow up before a week is out. It depends.
Good.
So
I love that. So we have about 2 minutes left on the show. Any other tips that you want to talk about networking, maybe belly-to-belly networking?
Oh, belly-to-belly networking. Now, I admit, haven't done that a little bit recently. That's why I love my virtual coffee networking. Just be genuine. Like you said, make it about the other person. It's easy to get people to talk about themselves. And when people talk about themselves, they feel typically more comfortable around you. And so ask them what they do. Don't know what to ask? Say, tell me more about that. And listen very intentionally. Don't listen to respond. Remember, it's not about you. Listen to ask questions about the actual context of what they're telling you. So if you get stuck for a question, just say, tell me more about that. Or you can always say, who else have you met that's interesting here today? So make it about the event if you have to.
And
remember,
ask who the decision maker is. Like if you're going to
yes.
the chamber, like who's the one of my mentors actually calls it the yak job. Who's the yak job in the room? Like
Nice.
life of the party, is connected. Yeah, super connected. Always out there helping others. Yeah, those are the types of people that you want to meet. So you have
Absolutely.
that synergy. Yes. Well, awesome. Well, then you're on next week on the travel show with your daughter. Tell everybody really quick what we're going to be talking about your journey.
Yes. So my family, my husband, my 6 kids, and my dog and I just did a 9-month journey across the USA in an RV. So we hit 32 states in 9 months. We road schooled, we worked, we saw friends, old friends, new friends. We had a blast. And now I am back in my home. We've been here about a week. So my daughter Sophia, oh my gosh, she just loves the stage. She is a natural presenter.
So amazing.
She is amazing. She's 9 years old. She's going to be on with me, and we're going to talk, I believe, about some of the things we learned on the trip, how it is adjusting to being home again, and just share the latest on the Ruby Crew. We call ourselves the Ruby Crew. Our show is called The Ruby Road. It's on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search The Ruby Road. You'll find us. And we had a blast. I'm itching to get back on the road again, and I've only been home a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. I can't wait. Yeah, Carmen has been on the show twice already on the Wednesday travel show. So I'm very excited to have her on next week. So make sure that you tune into Buckless Coach Web Show every single Wednesday. And anything else you'd like to tell my audience, and I'll pop you in the green room.
Check out my website, www.truesisulife.com. I'm hosting a workshop next weekend. If you want to just go to my website, all the information is there. The workshop is on NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Even though I am a business consultant, NLP is like the main tool. It's like the screwdriver with all the different screw heads that you can do anything with, that I pull out of my toolbox when I'm coaching people who own businesses so that they can make more impact with their business.
And a shout out to your Instagram page or any other networks you want, like LinkedIn or anything like that.
Yeah, find me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Carmen Ventrucci there. Find me on Facebook, Carmen Ventrucci, LinkedIn, Instagram, Carmen Ventrucci as well.
And don't forget to follow the Ruby Road. So I'm going to put you in the green room. I think there's champagne and maybe some bruschetta in there for you to enjoy.
Ooh,
hang in for 1 minute and I'll be right back. There you go, guys. Make sure that you follow Carmen and definitely stay tuned to the travel show next Wednesday and follow the Ruby Road. You could also go to the chat here and you could check out all her sites and definitely connect with her on LinkedIn and Instagram as well as Facebook. So this is Cindy over at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Think of 5 people every single day to express gratitude. Make those calls of gratitude. Nothing about business. Just letting people know that you are so grateful, because just like I mentioned in my other show, we have 2 dates in a dash, and it's so important to live our life to the fullest. Ciao, baby, and we'll see you at the next show. Woo-hoo-hoo!